guys, it's me, 𝗲𝗡 Rainbow.
And I am Renata from the 𝗍spot.
And welcome back to episode 28 of the Joint Slay podcast. In today's episode, we are continuing on our reviews of the Eurovision 2024 season, and we are nearing the end. We have almost covered all of the songs after this episode. We will have almost covered all of the songs. So we're nearing the end. You know, we are really getting into the season. Once this episode is coming out, we've actually got pre-party España happening like this today. Whenever this episode is airing,
right.
because it happens Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, I will not be going to that because I did buy tickets. I thought I'd be going, but I'm not. But I'm excited for the pre-party season to start. We're going to get so much more information on people's live performances. And girl, I don't know if you've seen, but like nearly everybody's doing these damn pre-parties. There's only like 3 people that aren't going. So
Wow.
even Italy is going to the pre-parties. They haven't gone ever.
I did see people talking about that, about Italy going. I haven't followed too closely with like the hype up to the pre-parties, but I am so excited for them to finally happen. Because this
Yeah.
is when you start to get like you like see who's gonna be friends, like everyone's vibing together,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
even like people that we know who go to Eurovision events, like we're gonna see, their stuff, like what they're getting up
Yeah.
to. So I hope
And
everyone going has a great time, guys. But
yeah.
yeah, and just this is really my favorite part of the season. Like national finals and stuff are fun, but I feel like when you get to know the artists a little bit better, that's when it really starts getting good.
Yeah, and we'll be getting so many interviews and stuff. Like once these pre-parties happen, we're going to have an abundance of information more about the artists. So that's when the season really, really starts amping up. So I'm very excited about that. And you know what else I'm excited about is these songs that we're going to be reviewing today. So
Mm.
in this episode, we're going to be covering the United Kingdom with Olly Alexander, San Marino, Switzerland, Cyprus, Serbia, Greece. Girl, and I might be having
Mm. A moment, a
some
Greek
look a,
moment. Yeah.
a Greek moment, a a Swiss moment. I'm kind of like, a little melting pot of all these little nations today. So I might look ridiculous, but so yeah, that's what you guys can look forward to in this episode. But of course, before we get into the reviews, we want to give a little bit of a shout out to our patrons. These are people who went over to patreon.com/jointslaypodcast, subscribe to get early access to the full length video episodes every single week, as well as they get a shout out at the beginning of the episode, like the following people. So shout out to Meredith, Danielle, Obili, Alistair, Russell, Shoegazer, Daniel, Kathleen, Suniva, Norbert, Jackson, Henny, Andrew, Elliot, Sana, and shout out to our newest patron, Liza. Shout out, Liza!
Hi,
Shout out!
Liza. Love you. Thank you so much.
Yes. So, girl, come on, hello, hop over to the Patreon, see where the fun is at, all the hype. You could see this beautiful outfit I've got going on. You could see Renata's beautiful outfit, her blue eyeliner that she's been serving lately, which I have been loving. It compliments you so well.
Thank you.
And yeah, of course. So if you want to support us, head over to the Patreon and subscribe. And also just shout out to everybody who's been listening to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. We appreciate everybody who has been supporting us. And without further ado, let's get right into the episode. Alrighty, so the first entry we are going to be talking about today is from the United Kingdom with their song Dizzy by Olly Alexander. Now, this was probably the most anticipated entry, or artist at least, that was announced for Eurovision this year by the local fandom. I'm trying to think of everybody who's there. I feel like Ollie's probably the most mainstream, well known out of everybody that's been selected. They're like the big name of this year, I suppose. Olly Alexander, of course, was originally in the group Years and Years, or the band Years and Years, but now this is kind of their solo moment. Now they're just Olly Alexander. And so there was so much hype surrounding this. Now, for me, I don't think I mean, Years and Years doesn't really get much play over here in the
Mm-mm.
US.
No.
But I think they're a big deal over in Europe. I mean, I knew about them because of my beef with Olly because he tried to steal my man, Neil Amon Smith, of course, which I covered back whenever he was announced. But we have moved past that. I'm no longer beefing with Olly. And he's been a Eurovision fan for years. I remember every year he would always comment and like talk about Eurovision that year. So it's like he's always been in the rumor mill. So him being announced was really, really exciting. In this entry, there were high expectations because he's such a mainstream successful artist. Like, you just expect the most. And when this came out, I gotta say, even the teasers, when the teasers started coming out, I remember I just kept being like, okay, so really, you're a huge Eurovision fan. You are a huge artist. You've got all this. You've got a star-studded team behind you. We've got 𝗫𝗀𝘆𝗆, who is one of the producers on the song, who is one of my, like, bitch, I don't really know producers like that. I don't pay attention
Mhm.
to that. He's one of those producers you go through and you're like, oh, let me look for the 𝗫𝗀𝘆𝗆 productions because he's amazing. Um, First of all, this don't give me 𝗫𝗀𝘆𝗆 at all. I mean, I know it's obviously by him. It's great to see that he can, do different stuff. But he's known for doing very unique, very artistic, very different, kind of weird productions because he was one of the founding fathers of hyperpop. Like he is one of the original producers that kind of spearheaded that genre with A.G. Cook and Sophie. He was in that. And so it is a kind of, I don't know. This is, I guess, more of his mainstream work, I suppose. This it's it's a good radio song is my
Mhm.
reaction I had when I heard it. I thought, okay, I could definitely see this is built for the British audience to play on their radio for everybody to say, "Oh, okay, that's a good song. That's a nice song."
Well, and that is one of those things that comes up though, I think with the UK specifically, is that it's like, okay, we send these songs to Eurovision, but they're not even songs that we like. And none of their songs, and people talk about that stuff too, like even within
Hmm.
the community. Oh, well, it didn't even chart. That's what people like to say. Oh, it didn't even
Yeah.
chart in their own country. And I think maybe that's kind of what's going on here is like they actually like they just hosted Eurovision. They probably don't want to necessarily win it again, but they want to do
You
well. And
think?
I, I don't think they want to win this year.
Hmm. I don't get that vibe. I feel like they would not send Olly Alexander if they weren't wanting to win. Like he's such a big name. If like I don't know. I wouldn't see that in that sense. I mean, and I feel like they've expressed that they want to host the contest on their own merit as their own winners, like
And
winning the
not as a
contest.
co-host.
Yeah. And they've got the budget, like it's the BBC. Like the UK can afford to host another
That's
year.
true. Well, I
So,
guess I have no internal like bias for that because I had never heard of Olly Alexander before or years and
mm-hmm,
years. So I don't think of it as even being like a famous name. So I like because this song to me is not saying we want to win Eurovision.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and now I agree with that. That's my thing is I feel like, this is just something that some I see it often with the UK. Granted, this is still within the UK's Renaissance, current
Hmm.
Renaissance. This is really well done. They're really taking the contest seriously. So I'm not saying it's like Embers, even though I liked Embers,
I liked
but
Embers.
I liked
Yeah.
it too. I was in the James Newman Stan group chat. Okay, so I was
Oh
part of
wow.
that.
What is it
So
with you and I ending up standing really hard for songs that like either come in dead last in the contest or like last in semifinals? What's that?
you know,
What is that?
it's what it is. The thing is, I think there's beauty in every Eurovision
Yeah.
entry. And so, and it's a song like this is a good song. I think this is one of those songs that is made for radio. It's one that
Yeah.
is made to be able to be played over and over again, get stuck in your head. He already did a live performance on a big talk show in the
Oh,
UK, and
it's stuck in my head. I
yeah.
listened to it preparing for this episode, and after I listened to it, I watched the Honest Vocal Coach react to it. So I've
Mhm.
really heard the song twice. One of them was chopped up, and I have the fucking melody in my head.
Yeah.
Dizzy,
Busy
spin me.
for your
Uh,
kisses.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's catchy as hell. Um, but I don't know.
Yeah, the issue is Eurovision needs an immediate impact.
Yeah,
That's what you're banking on. So this song is one that I will say, like, it's not a skip for me when it comes on. I'm not necessarily
yeah,
seeking it out, but it's a really good song when it comes on in my rotation. Um, but I don't know if it has that immediate impact and thing that's going to set it apart from everybody else, depending on what we do see with the staging. Because I will
hmm.
say, he did this like a live performance on a talk show, and it was like kind of like the video where it was this rotating house or whatever, and he was like moving throughout it. And I think if they could pull that off in some way at Eurovision, which I don't think is unrealistic, I mean, rotating platform with some structure on it.
Well, what's
um
his name? Riley did it last year.
yeah, exactly. So that's true, though.
I
Don't
don't
steal our
see
boys'
them,
concept.
and I don't think that they would. I think they're probably going to play out that spinning stage thing, and they're going to do something different. At
Hmm.
least I would kind of hope that they would, because it's also a
And see,
little
I
bit on
like
the
that.
nose.
I thought it was good though. Like, I mean, what else? What other option is there, like on the stage alone? Or on the stage like with no props? I don't know. I feel like it could be really cool. Um, I wouldn't mind if they chose to do that, but I don't know. I also don't like I don't get his style. I'm sorry. I don't I don't
I
understand what he was wearing. I don't.
That video was so fucking ugly.
Yeah.
I hated that video. In fact,
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about the song for the first like minute because I was
Mm.
like, what the fuck is the styling on this video? Like it's hideous. Like the color palette, it was like like fresh produce that you left in the bag in your car for a couple hours, and it just all like the bananas instantly start to turn brown, like all the greens get wilted, like
Oh my
it was
God.
such like a a decay, a
Yeah.
color palette of decay, and like it reminded me of Train Spotting, which is like not
Oh my
like,
God.
I mean, that's a movie that like all of the scenes give you like a sense of revulsion. And that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking when I was see like I've stayed in nicer squats than that little spinning house thing that they had rigged up on the soundstage for this video. Like I was
Yeah.
kind of dumbfounded at how the visuals were such a miss for me at
Yeah.
least. I don't know if the contrast was what they were going for, but I felt like it really needed to have something a little bit more like bubbly and poppy. It was just so like,
Yeah.
why the song is so pop, but the look is so alt? Like, I don't know, it just
Yeah.
wasn't working.
I agree. Because I mean, the song is, when you read the lyrics, it's like such kind of generic, crush love song. Oh, you make me dizzy from your kisses. Like there's not anything that would make sense to really have that whole visual going on. I mean, nothing in the video told a story that connected with, I mean, it didn't really tell a story at all, but definitely not connect with the lyrics of the song. So I don't really, I mean, maybe that's just his aesthetic. I will say, like, I know Olly Alexander, but I don't know him like that. Like, I haven't seen his other music videos. I've heard his other songs, but I've never dived that deep into it. So maybe that's just like what he's known for. I don't really know. But I remember watching it and just feeling like it was off-putting. Like, I don't know. So I don't really know. I do know he has a song that he just came out with. He's on the remix with Benjamin Ingrosso with his song
I did
Kite.
see that. I haven't listened to the
Great
song, but I
song.
saw.
He's barely on it, but
Okay.
don't even notice he's there, to be honest. But
Okay. That's
I
smart
mean,
marketing. Why not do a little cross-country collab?
yeah. I
Get the
mean,
get the home votes of the people in Sweden.
exactly. I switched it out. I took out the original and I put in the Olly Alexander one. I thought, oh, well, it's no different. It's basically the same. It's just instead of another backing vocalist, it's like him. He's
Mm.
basically like a backing vocalist. I think also their voices are pretty similar, so they kind of blended together. So he might have been in it more than I realized, but
Oh, gotcha.
um I don't know. I don't the thing is, you know how the British bitches are. Okay? You know, listen. Okay? Uh, it's just sometimes y'all are living in a really delusional world. Every year you guys are not winning. Like we don't I can't with the British people being like this is a contender. No, it's not. I can't with the British people being like, you know, comparing you to Sam Ryder. No, this ain't gonna
Mm-mm.
be Sam Ryder. Because I have been listening to Sam Ryder a lot lately, Spaceman, because I had to make this space playlist for work. I didn't have to, but it's a whole thing. We've got this space themed ice cream that we're coming out with. So I made a space themed playlist because they
That's
they
cute.
made a space themed playlist and girl, it was shit. So I made my own. So Spaceman is of course on it. So I've been hearing it a lot more because I don't normally listen to it. I thought, oh wow, this really was a really good song. I mean, this is kind of like low key a classic. Like this is one I could have really seen being a big hit. I'm surprised it didn't have a bigger, you know,
Hmm.
mainstream success than it did. I mean, I think it had a lot of local success. But I think that this is the reason why I feel like this is still really good for the UK is because this is really helping within that internal issue that the UK had, which was just the locals hating Eurovision, seeing it as a joke, seeing it not taking it seriously at all. And
Hmm.
this is a serious attempt. They got a really amazing artist that's not like an artist from 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago that's a current successful artist competing with a current song and everything. So it's good. It's a good entry.
Yeah,
But
I think it's a good entry. I don't mean to be slagging it off. It's just the video that I really hated. I think the
mhm.
song's fine. I don't think it's winner material, but I think it's good. And I mean, like last year, I loved Mae Muller. She was in my top
Oh
three.
yeah.
So I actually like the UK. Like you said, we both liked Embers.
Oh yeah.
So I don't have anything against the UK and Eurovision. Um, and yeah, I think it's good they didn't send a flop.
Yeah. This is good.
It's good.
It's good. It's good. And then we move on to San Marino with their song 1111 by Megara. Now Megara we know we
Mm,
love from
yeah.
Benidorm Fest last year with their song Arcadia. I have a little lore with them. There's a funny photo that exists of me and them together, but it was my sister took it from the window of our hotel room when we were in Madrid because I this was whenever I was leaving on the Friday of to go to the press thing in Madrid, and the fucking hotel was being stormed by fans at the door, and I could not get out of the hotel. Like I needed to get out, but it was because a couple of artists were standing at the doors taking photos with fans, and I was like, "Bitch, I gotta get out." Okay, y'all blocking the door. So I pushed Blanca from Poland out of the way to get out. She would not move.
Wow.
Now, not her fault. There were so many people that were trying to take photos with her, and then I'm a random person behind her
But
trying to
like,
get
get
out.
the fuck away from
Get
the
the fuck
door,
out of the
please.
door.
Yeah, that's like a fire
Like,
hazard. Come on.
yeah, hello, I'm trying to go. So I'm like, so but then as I'm leaving, Megara are walking right by me down the park or down the street. So they're walking to the hotel. I'm leaving the hotel.
Mm.
And for some reason, my sister took a picture of me. So I'm like clunky walking out in drag in like 8-inch heels. And Megara was coming in to get ready. So they were fully out of their looks.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
so it's just a weird random photo. I don't know how they got into the fucking hotel, but anyways. So moving on from that, it was really exciting to see them competing in San Marino's national selection. I didn't fully follow San Marino's selection, but I was honestly rooting for Loredana. I could not get over the fact that Loredana Bertè went to fucking San Marino with her San Remo song, Paza, because she literally was on this campaign of like, I need to annoy my ex-husband in who lives in Sweden. An
It's such
icon,
queen
legend.
behavior.
Like literally such a queen. I was really rooting for her low key, for the memes, for the iconicness of it. I also love that damn polar bear AI song. I hate to say it. I'm just a polar bear trying to survive. I'm sorry, she ate that up. I'm sorry, the computer ate that up.
Yeah.
Um, but Megara were also amazing. And what's funny is I got the little notification when this song was released, and I didn't realize it was their San Marino entry. And I listened to it, I liked it, I saved it. Then I was like, I remember when it was selected, and I was like, wait, I already saved this song? Oh, yeah, because I already just saw it as a release and really liked it. I thought, oh, it's a good song for them. It's a good, single, whatever. But it's like, when they've already had an entry, you can't help, or not like an entry in Eurovision, but we remember them from last year. You can't help but compare them to last year. And I it's hard because I feel like Arcadia was so much better.
Yeah.
In many different ways. It's like it already had the like the production was so much better. I think that's actually a big problem for me with this song is something about it. The vocals are not as crisp and clear as I would like them to, and with rock and like specifically with this kind of electronic style mixed with rock, um, vocals almost get a little lost within the music for me when I'm
Mhm.
listening to it. Um, but there are elements that I really love. I love towards the end when there's like this Spanish guitar riff.
Yes.
That's like so cool, so different. And I think the other thing that's not helping for me is the low quality of San Remo national selection because the performance was not amplified. They were low key in like 𝗏𝗆𝘆 and like, it's it's great when people have a lot of they have a lot of ideas. But
Yes.
sometimes you have to know where you're at. You have to know the means of um what you can really execute on that stage. It's like we talked about it with Ireland. It's like you have to know that maybe you can't pull off 𝗏𝗆𝘆 with all those props on that
Uh-huh.
stage. But she obviously won, so I mean they pulled it off, but you know, I think if they refine it, I think if they like really get a cool like actual real clear-cut concept,
Yeah.
maybe a story, like we need to tell like I need to know what's going on because there were a lot of cool elements, but in many ways it doesn't stick out because it's like none of it really goes there. It's just kind of a lot thrown at one at the wall.
Right.
So,
I loved the little like mask reveal thing that they did when
mm,
they took off like the big knit bunny mask. Because I first of all didn't expect them to take the bunny masks off at all.
mhm,
So I was surprised when they like reached to do it. And then when they pulled it off, what was underneath was not what I was expecting at all either.
mhm,
And like I feel like we've talked about that in the past where like if you're gonna do a reveal, like don't like let us know ahead of time that there's
mhm.
going to be a reveal, like have it be something that's unexpected. So like that was an idea that like I hope they might maybe keep more like surprise elements to something
Yeah.
really slick. Um, but yeah, I mean the when I first watched the live performance and within like 10 seconds I was like, okay, I need to watch the like music video
Mhm.
because the sound sucks.
Yeah.
And it just like it does them zero favors. Like in fact, I think
But her
the
vocal is amazing. Even through that, amazing, flawless.
I love her vocals. I love her vocal style. She reminds me of the singer Ari Up from the Slits, which is
Mm.
an in, Ari is actually German, but it's a British band from the late 70s. It was kind of like a really early punk band, a girl punk band, and she has a similar kind of voice, and I love her voice. Um,
Mm.
So I'm just so excited to see Megara because I did love 𝗥𝗏𝘅𝘆. I don't think that this is as strong as 𝗥𝗏𝘅𝘆 was, unfortunately. Like that
Mhm.
one really did kind of like come out and like punch you right out of the gate. Whereas this one like waffles a little bit at the beginning. Like I didn't love it within the first, few bars, whereas with 𝗥𝗏𝘅𝘆, I
Mm.
did love it within the first few bars. Um, but I felt like as the song went on, it was like, actually, this is pretty good. Like it feels really anthemic. Like I could see by like the second time we hear the chorus, like people probably like really vibing with it. Because even
Mhm.
though it is like that rock electronic, like it still feels pretty accessible.
Yes, yeah, it's totally something that even like a pop girly lover like myself
Mm.
would still respond to.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens when they have a little bit more money and like LED possibilities as well.
Yeah, my only concern is like even in the video they were still wearing like the fucking Party City costumes.
Yeah, like the bunny pajamas, footy
Yeah, like
pajamas.
the pajama I'm sorry. I don't know what the song's about. I haven't looked up the
Me either.
translations, but I don't care if it makes sense of the song because it doesn't look good. So
Yeah.
we need to not do the pajamas. It just looks cheap. It looks uninspired. Unless where you're gonna get a full bedroom setup and it's gonna make sense. But if you're
Yeah.
gonna be standing on the stage with, you know, pink and black LEDs popping up on the screen, I don't need it just doesn't make any sense. I
So
drop the Party City costumes.
I completely feel you on that. So it's very interesting to think about what happened with San Marino last year because same thing with the final when the song was chosen, everyone was like, "Oh, this kind of fucking sucks actually," because everyone was watching that horrible um
Mhm.
production level in that studio or whatever that community theater that they record in. So like it gives a really bad impression to start off, but um the LEDs that they did for Peaked Jacks were fucking amazing.
Hmm.
The LEDs and the light show they did last year for them were really cool.
Hmm.
So I think like we can expect that they're going to do the same thing and they're going to really work with what they've got as far as the physical stage and bringing things in with
Yeah.
the lighting. Um Hopefully the thing is I know that Peak Jacks they had like a stylist, like a really good stylist. That's why they were
Hmm.
always dressed so well.
I
I
know they
don't
looked so fucking good.
they were some of the best dressed of last year, but the thing is I think that was all them and their label and their management. I don't think Megara has the same thing. So
Yeah.
I hope for them that they're able to get somebody who can kind of like put a good like looks together for them and style them in
Yeah.
the right way.
Because they have a clear vision and they have a clear
Hmm.
style, and we don't want to lose that
No.
at all. But you want to find somebody that can really enhance that and just make it like, even Måneskin, like they were amazing when they were putting their looks together, but then when they were able to get a stylist and work with a designer and just really get like these custom brilliant looks for the stage, especially. I mean, that's the thing. For the damn stage. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like, hello. The thing is also I know that the main singer, she's like in the cosplay world. So
Oh.
I expect like I want something really amazing. We saw it last year when she had that like robotic stuff. So
Yeah,
I'm
that stuff was cool.
hopeful. Like I'm hopeful that we'll get that. Like nice, well made, well constructed, well thought out, conceptual, cool looks.
Yeah.
I want that. If you can really serve, honestly, I'm sorry. Look towards Bambi Thug because they're doing it.
Yes.
They're doing it.
Absolutely.
So, but they're a completely different style than Megara. And so they can both live in the same world. Because I also saw people, I don't know if they're in the same semi. I saw people being like comparing them like, oh, only one would it be able to go through. Um, they're not. So I don't know why people were saying that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not. So
And I don't know that, that people who vote are like choosing between one or the other. Like, oh, I can only choose
yeah.
one of the weird songs. like I think if anything, it kind of might help because if I think of like if there's somebody who likes 𝗵𝗵𝘆 enough to pick up the phone and vote, they probably also like Megara like at least a little bit, and they
Mm,
might be willing, whereas maybe they wouldn't have voted for Megara if they weren't
that's
already
true.
voting for 𝗵𝗵𝘆. I wonder
That's
how
true.
much of those dynamics come into play.
Hmm. That's a good point as well. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is an entry I'm very wishy-washy on as to like qualification
Yeah,
because you know, the thing is, they're in the second semifinal. It's a strong semi. But
it's a
this
strong
song,
year. That's the
it's a
problem
strong
here.
year. Yeah, but that's a really strong semi. Um, it's basically got all the like front runners in that semi. So I don't know, but at the same time, there's not really any other entries like this. So, and like we don't have a lot of rock this year. I don't know really. Do we have any other rock?
I'm trying to think
Baby
about this.
Lasagna has like kind of vibes.
Yeah, but Baby Lasagna is kind of in the same boat as like Estonia, where like they're not really bands per se.
Yeah, but I feel like his like there's no going back.
Oh yeah, the vocals are a
Whoa.
little rock. The vocals are a little
It
rock.
gives
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I mean maybe that, but like there's nothing comparable to this, so it's gonna stand out. So
Hmm.
it's just I think it really does come down to how they stage it and everything, but this could slip through.
Is Spain voting in that semifinal?
Yes.
Okay, well that
Spain
might
and
change.
Italy.
Oh fuck. Well, that might change
So
things. Yeah.
yeah.
Some friendly votes there.
You know what is a missed opportunity that I'm very upset about from the EBU?
What?
The running order came out today, which we're not going to cover in depth in this today, but I'm looking at it right now. The song's called 11:11. They should have put them, they were in the second half, they should have put them at 11th.
They should have put them
They
11th.
put them
Yeah.
at 10th.
Why? Why?
I
That's so
saw,
stupid.
like, just come on. Whatever fucking intern or whoever is in charge of that, producers, come on. Give us a little crumb of
Maybe they
fun
saw
and
that it would
memeable.
be as an advantage because it would be so easy to remember the 11:11 song as song number 11.
I mean, who cares? How iconic would it's not like San Marino couldn't do with a little boost.
Right.
Um, and I did see somebody on Twitter say, imagine if the song called 11:11 was put running order 11th place and came 11th in the semi,
Insane.
which
Would be insane.
was totally possible to
Yeah.
happen. Um,
They still could come 11th.
yeah, yeah. Well, the other thing I've always thought about with San Marino is I've always heard that San Marino is like a rich country. I don't know if they mean the broadcaster. I don't know if they mean the people who live within San Marino. I don't even know if that's true. But I've always wondered for San Marino, because it's such a small country, I always assumed they'd have like no budget. But I always feel like San Marino always has like really amazing kind of like music videos, performances that they bring to Eurovision. Like they kind of be going all out sometimes. And I always wonder if that's because it's like back in the day when they internally selected, it was kind of just like whoever wanted to put forth the most
Mhm.
money. And so they were just paying for it all themselves. That's what I always thought. But now with them doing a national selection, I'm just always curious. Like, how
Mhm.
much does the artist have to put forth for a country like San Marino? Um, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I guess as far as like its wealth is concerned, I feel like a lot of Italians as well, like they do have a lot of money.
Hmm.
But there's so few people. So it's like maybe the individuals themselves are like a little bit better off, but it's not like when you put all of that together, it's a ton of money collectively because it's not a
Mm-mm.
lot of people. Like it's such a small country. So like they have
Okay.
money, but they don't have like mad money like Italy or something. What are you reading?
Um, well, I just wanted to see if there was information on like budgets in past years or whatever, because some countries are way more forthcoming with that kind of information. Um, because now I'm like seeing these articles again, like people talking about Senate herself spending 2 million euros for her Eurovision participation. I'm like, is that
Damn,
real? Like, is
that's
that
a lot of
real?
money.
Like, I don't, where's she get this money from? I know she has a rich wife, but are they that rich? 2 million euros is a lot of money.
I think the wife is rich. I think that's one of the things that the wife is rich.
I mean, can I find a damn wife that's going to pay for my hobbies like Senit's? Because think about her fucking. Do you remember her like every month doing a music video for a cover of a Eurovision song of the past leading up to her entry?
Oh, she was
In the
crazy.
production, like, girl, that like I don't know if that's was included in the 2 million. Maybe that's included in the 2 million, like
I'm
marketing and
what
stuff.
she also had Luca Tomasini as her stylist, and like
And of
he's
course
not
she had
cheap.
Flow Rida.
And of course, Flo Rida, yeah, which is
Like,
probably a pretty good chunk of that 2 mil.
yeah, so that's what I wonder, but I don't know. People we need to find somebody that like is truly an expert on like Eurovision budgets. And we could just do an episode talking about that because I really am always curious about that.
I would
And
love to do something like that because I'm also really curious.
yeah, and it's just there's so many I have so many questions. So anybody who is an expert, let us know.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Well, then moving on from San Marino to Switzerland, we have the Code by Nemo. Now, I am doing a light inspired moment because I've got the little hat that Nemo wears. Although mine looks fucking massive on my head. Does it not look
Yeah, I
huge?
mean, yeah, it's kind of big.
It is
But
over
the
top of
the
headphones.
headphones, I think the headphones is puffing it up a little bit.
Yeah. Um, but I was trying to find the outfit because I actually like one. I was like, oh, I could do like the whole look. It's not being sold. It's not custom, but it's from a collection from a few years ago. So
Okay.
sadly no longer sold. But anyways, okay, girl, whenever the Nemo was announced, I don't actually I'm thinking I don't remember if Nemo was announced as an artist before the song came out or what. Maybe there
I
were
don't remember.
rumors, but I just remember at first being like, oh, they picked this random person. No idea who this is. I saw pictures. I was thinking, oh, it's going to be another Ramo. Oh, just because I was just like, oh, I don't know. Like, Switzerland has been so boring these last few years. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they just have not been piquing my interest in recent years.
Yeah, same.
When I clicked on this video, bitch, it ain't no fucking way I was expecting this to be what I heard. They somehow managed to include every genre under the sun into one song. And I think at first I remember it not really clicking with me because I don't know. It was just one of those things where I was like, oh, okay. Oh, oh, we're just going to doing all these crazy things. I'm thinking, okay, what are we doing here? But the more I've listened to it, the more and in recent days, girl, it's clicked. It's clicked hard. Now I'm like, okay, top five for me. Like now I'm like, okay,
Wow.
winner vibes. Like, and a live performance came out recently, like just from an audience, like it wasn't
Hmm.
televised or anything. Actually, it looked like there was a camera crew, but we only have audience videos. Amazing. They're live perfection, and it's
Wow.
hard. I mean, so there's opera, there's rap, like we go the vocal range is insane and the speed at which it switches from one to the other is insane and their ability to pull that off is insane. um and I love the concept of the song and the way that all of those things go together because the lyrics of the song, it's about breaking the code, breaking the gender binary and all of that sort of thing, and being, able to switch from the, one way to another, and you're
Hmm.
everything. Um, and okay, those are the lyrics of the song, but that's also shown through the visuals, and it's also shown through the actual music style, switching from one genre to the next, and you know, being able to do all so flawlessly. It's giving for me. I love the video. I love the concept. Like, it's what Ollie could have been, but
Mm.
except for not,
Mm.
because it's not at all Ollie's style. But even the video, maybe.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I definitely agree with you that like the concept is very clear and it is being carried through the lyrics and the music and the visuals. Um, and it is well executed. I am afraid for me it hasn't clicked. And right now it feels like it's a case of, one of those things where it's like, okay, just because it's well executed and has a strong concept doesn't mean I like have to vibe with it because I don't
Hmm.
feel like I'm vibing with it. It just all feels like a little bit much.
Hmm.
Like maybe like a friend who's sometimes just like a little too much sometimes. And I think maybe I'm that friend sometimes, actually.
Oh, it's like, are you talking about me?
No, you know what I mean? It's just like it feels like it's pulling in a lot of directions and it's just like a little bit tiring.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only heard it twice now, but like I didn't like it anymore the second
Mm.
time around.
Okay.
So like I'm gonna still keep like my heart and my mind open to it. Like maybe it does just have to click for me. Um, but it's just not really doing it quite yet. And I feel like also it almost is a bit overthought, and like I felt like I could tell
Mm.
that they already had their staging concept in mind to like go with
Mm.
parts of the song, and maybe they don't at all, and I'm just reading too deep into it, but it felt like all those moments where things are really abruptly changing, that it's like they have a plan for that, and it might come off a lot better on stage
Hmm.
um when it's with that, but I don't know, something feels a little bit contrived on this one.
I
uh
get that. This definitely feels like an artist that is throwing every single thing that they can do, every skill that they learned, everything into one song. I can appreciate that in a way, because to me that's like what Eurovision's about. Like, this is what I want from a Eurovision song. I want you to fucking throw everything at a wall, and this is your moment. This is your moment to show everything that you can do. Um maybe with something like Ollie's song is just another good song. Okay,
mhm.
another cute song in your discography. This is like a moment for Nemo. Because you go through, if you listen to other Nemo songs, I love a lot of their music. Their music is really good, but they don't always, not all their music is like this. They have songs that
Mhm.
are more rappy. They have songs that have more of the like opera cool vocal moments. They have just chill pop songs. Like, they do a wide range of music. So I think it's cool that they kind of meshed it all together. But yeah, maybe for me it works.
Yeah,
But
I think it maybe could have used a little bit of editing, or I would like to hear a remix of the song maybe.
mm,
Because there were elements like the drum and bass elements I did really like.
mm,
So like there are some things where
yeah.
like in a remix, and I'm not saying like a remix for Eurovision, but a remix in general, like great DJs will pull a part of a
Hmm.
song and then
Yeah.
they remix the song so that becomes the main element. And I feel
Hmm.
like if they I would like to hear this song kind of reworked and rethought.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because I think that's the thing that helps with listening to a song more and more and more, is your brain is able to click into one thing and really appreciate it for what it is. And the more you listen to it, the more you notice little details. And then your brain can then put all those together and be like, okay, wait, I like the song overall as well. Now that I've appreciated this moment, I appreciate this moment. Now it can all come together. Because for me, when I'm listening to it, I'm excited for the next part. because the next part is not going to be just like the last. You know, I'm excited for when, let me tell you so about life, the good and the bad, and hold on tight. And then we go, oh, and then it's like, I've been through hell and back. And you know what? I also just, the more I listen to it, the more I appreciate the lyrics, the more I appreciate what they're singing about, because I don't know, maybe it's more relatable for me. And I'm like, oh, you know, it's so cool this year. It's wild that we have never had a non-binary artist in that participates in Eurovision when they're out as non-binary.
Mm,
In this year, we have two non-binary artists, and we also have, I'm not sure what the artist from Australia identifies as specifically, but
okay.
like I know it's more gender non-conforming. I don't think
Mm.
it's specifically non-binary. It's so exciting this year for us to have so many, such also a variety of different non-binary artists in the contest, and just having that representation. I don't know. It's really cool to see that for me personally this year. Um,
Well,
and yeah,
going back to something you said about the like the more you listen to it, the better it gets. And like that is good. But I don't think
yeah,
that's a strength in Eurovision
mhm,
because a lot of people are really only hearing it the one
yeah.
time.
But I will say this one has a good, like, it's gonna grab your attention in the moment. You will remember this one for the good or for the bad,
Yeah.
which is
Well, and when they choose the recap clip, that could
mm,
really make a huge difference
yeah,
depending on which clip that they grab because like if people there's so many elements to it that it might not have been the element that stood out to you first and it just kind of gets
yeah,
lost and you're like, "Oh wait, what was that song?" because I was
hmm,
so distracted with everything going on. I don't know. This one, okay, this one is risky and I'm happy that Switzerland is sending something that's risky instead of sending something that's an
yeah.
obvious non-qualifier.
I know, yeah, yeah. Even though they qualified last year.
They did qualify last year
I
somehow.
don't know how on with a televote only semi how they did that.
No
I
clue.
don't know how they did that. But, you know, we stand. Also,
Yeah,
Nemo is one of my crushes of this year.
very cute person. Very cute.
So, alrighty. Well, next up we have Cyprus with their entry Liar by Silia Kapsis. Now, okay, okay. I don't know. I'm just bored of these entries from Cyprus at this point. Every year it's just a downgraded version
Yeah.
of what we've seen before. And we got a little special something with 𝗫𝗏𝘆𝗆. Unfortunately, she of course saw the fate of not qualifying. She was of
Yeah.
course the one that didn't qualify, but she was actually sending something different and cool and artistic and interesting. Um and they just seem to have gone back to their you know, girl bop, fuego replay, El Diablo. Was there another one in there? Um I feel like there was, but you know, like that world. And this one is good, but it's just a pop song.
Yeah.
It just doesn't add anything to the current lineup that we have this year. Maybe a few years ago, maybe, you know, I don't know, pre-Fuego, girl bops were not as, you know, maybe like every year now. Like this year now, there's like fucking, there's so many amazing ones that are so different, all have something special about them. And this one isn't any of that. And I just feel like, I don't know, maybe the wrong year for this, or I don't know what. It's just not anything special. But I do feel like this is one that, depending on staging, depending on her ability as a performer, that's where a lot of these are gonna, you know, kind of
Mhm.
stand out in different ways. But the issue is we've got Greece, seasoned, amazing performer. We've got Austria, seasoned, amazing performer. And Cyprus, she is 17, but
They
she's
need to
she,
stop doing this to these poor children.
you know, and I mean my
Let them
thing is
develop.
yeah, the thing is she's not unseasoned. You know, she's not like even Victor Vernicos, who like it was kind of his first time really on a big stage. Like she is a working, you know, musician and actress, and she, you know, she's not like unseasoned in that sense. She probably has more experience than some people who are way, way like double her age this year, you know. But I don't know if maybe it's just when you're so young, you might not have a clear style, so they might just put you into something. It's just kind of a, you know, just a song that could fit with anyone. And that's the thing. This song was, we heard it last year. It was the song, it was between Victor and this song with a different artist.
Oh, was it
So,
really?
yeah. So we actually have had this song. We've known this song since last year.
Oh my God, I didn't
So
realize.
all it is, I mean, nothing changed.
Wait, was
It
this the
is,
song of the girl that sued the network?
oh, it might have been.
Because that happened, right? The girl that they didn't
Yeah.
choose
Wait.
sued ERT.
You know what's wild is, oh my God, I can go to YouTube right now. And from 1 year ago, Melissa Mantzouki's Liar posted 1 year ago. It's literally the same song.
Wow.
So that's the thing. It's not a good enough song for us to be saving it for several years. And, you know, and it's just one of those songs that's passed around until it lands on somebody who ends up taking it, you know?
Right.
Like, and those songs just never really bode well in Eurovision. I mean, we've seen it happen so many times before. And I mean, it's just there's a reason why it didn't get picked the first time. And also you didn't work with that artist at all.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's one thing for like, oh, you know, demos get passed around in general in the music industry. That's how it works. But like for Eurovision, for like, okay, it's not the same country, but like it was for Greece last year, it's for Cyprus this year, you know. So it's just like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It doesn't sound fresh.
no,
Um, and like with the as far as the youth is concerned, like Iru was also young but seasoned, and she ended up having a really bad time at
Mm.
Eurovision and
Did
was
she?
not, well, she didn't qualify.
Oh, I thought you meant like maybe she said like she had a really bad
No,
experience.
like it did. Well, she kind of did because they like she just recently said, I think that the lyrics didn't make sense because they weren't going to let her do the lyrics that she wanted to do, and so she just did fucking nonsense lyrics. So like it's not like she was being like creatively
Hmm.
nurtured either. Um, so I think it's too bad to send a young person in a competitive year with a stale song um to this big competition. Like it's I think it's just not good enough. And it does feel like someone else's cast offs. It feels like Pussycat Dolls cast off from like 5 years
Yeah.
ago. Like it feels like it's been passed around a lot longer than just 1 year. Um,
Yeah, and they're not in Greece's semi either, so we
oh,
don't
that's
have,
rough.
you know, the part, but they are in Australia's. I don't know if
Okay.
people are gonna in Australia are gonna know her. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll recognize Miss Girl from their Nickelodeon TV screens. I don't know if she was on Nickelodeon, but
Oh,
but you know, I don't know. I mean, you know, I think it's sad because when you listen to the song, I feel like it's a good song. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it qualified. It is a they are in the weaker semi. They
and
are in the
Poland
weaker semi.
qualified last year, so
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, it all comes down to performance. It all comes down. The thing is also like, what's with Cyprus? And these like, I don't know. I'm watching the music video and I'm like, girl, why am I watching a movie right now?
yeah, it was
I can't.
trying to tell some story. I don't think I
I
understood
was
the
like, why are
story
we in a
though.
casino? I know you're 17. Like, what's going on? Um, I don't know. It's fine, but it's hard. It's a really strong year in songs like this that are really still really good, but they just don't have that extra special thing.
Yeah.
Because it's just hard because you think like the people who like this music, are probably going to like someone else more, you know? So who does this appeal to? I don't know. I don't know. Alrighty. Well, next up we have Serbia and their entry Ramonda by Teya Dora. Bitch. Oh, bitch. I was excited when she was announced for Serbia's national selection. I was excited when the song came out. And as the national selection went through, she wasn't my winner. Who was my winner? Oh, I had a random winner for Serbia's national selection. I really liked their song 𝗬𝗏𝗍𝗍. It was some band. Really cute guys.
Hmm.
Really cute guys in the band. And I love their song. They were my winner, but it was one of those winners where you're like, they're not winning, you know? Like, they're not gonna win, but you just that's your favorite song. But after watching all the live performances, I really found myself rooting for Teya Dora. I thought her entire performance was so beautiful, such a completely different vibe from everything else that we had. At the time, we basically had no ballads, at least no female ballads in the selection. Like, it really was what we needed. We kept getting the girl bops, we kept getting the fun, wacky songs, and this was just something very calm, laid back, and just beautiful and more raw. But then the performance was, it's very simple. It's very, but at the same time, it's really, you know, takes you on a journey. It really brings you into this atmosphere. And I love the connection between her live performance and the music video, just with like the rocks and the mountains and just all that. The styling is gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Her vocals are perfect. It's one that it's a certain vibe. And I feel like at the time I needed that vibe.
Hmm.
It's almost like a lullaby that gets stuck in your head, the Lila Ramonda, and it just rings in your head and it calms you down and it just takes you on this journey. Lila Ramonda, Lila Ramonda. I don't know really what that means. I don't know what that means. But it's beautiful. And she beat breastvika. Breastvika.
It sounds like you're beatboxing.
She beat the evil, which we
Okay.
have to stand.
Who's evil? Who was the evil
Breastvika.
Shashvika? But like who are they? Why are they evil?
Apparently, her song was basically a call for war against Kosovo to
Yikes.
take
Okay.
back Kosovo.
Jesus.
Yeah. Right now, the like super conservative parties in Serbia are very upset about Teya Dora being chosen because Breshvika, I don't know, I'm not saying her name right, but she won the televote, but the jury put her like 6 or something.
Gotcha.
So they're like, oh, the jury tanked. Oh, they don't want, they're just upset. And that you got all these alt-right podcasters
Oh,
in Serbia
Jesus.
like going on like just rants. There were like protests in Serbia. It's like all this stupid shit. So to me, Teodora is like, oh yes, we stand with the girl. And literally all the contestants, it was very funny. They were all posting, like the ones that didn't qualify. Um, Luke Black. Oh, because she shaded Luke Black too, as well. She did something where she was like, oh, I'm not sending something weird like last year or whatever,
Oh,
something like that.
wow.
And like Luke Black posted like, oh, these are the people I'm rooting for. It was everybody but her. It was like, and like I saw multiple contestants do that where they
Oh
were
my
basically being
God.
like, oh, vote for these people. And it was everyone but her. So you could tell, like, okay, when the actual artists don't like you, girl,
Yeah.
come on. Um, so
Oh, how
I
funny.
love it. Oh, I love it. I love this entry so much. This is in my top 10. This might be my top 5. It's
Wow.
just such a change of pace of everything else that we have this year because even the ballads we have are like dramatic, like
Mhm.
Portugal. This is not that. It's just, it really, I mean, it's very harkens back to her TikTok song. Um, but it's just, I don't know, it's just the right vibe. It's just one of those ones where it's like Saudade from Portugal.
Yeah,
Um
it's subdued like that. Yeah.
yeah, and like it's one of those songs where there's moments where I'm just like, this is what I need in this moment, you know? It's not all the bells and whistles, it's just a beautiful song.
Yeah, it didn't do much for me. I felt like it was maybe a little bit too sleepy.
Mm.
And like it's fine to be atmospheric, but it felt like it was just it needed a little bit some more of an edge, maybe. Like I feel like somebody who, granted, they didn't make it all the way to Eurovision, but somebody who pulled off this type of song very well was Judy with the 𝗤𝗍𝘅𝘆 song from Czech Republic,
Mm.
2020 one, I guess, 2021, right? That was the year that Domi went.
Yes, yeah.
Um, how it is kind of
2022.
like 2022. It's kind of like it's a bit of a lullaby. It feels like a little like there's some storytelling, a little bit magical, maybe, like mysterious. But I felt like with the Czech song, it was a little bit more edgy. Whereas
Mm.
this just kind of felt like a really like a one of the really slow emotional songs that you would have in like a stage play.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I don't know. I think it's one that it really grew on me because it didn't really click until it clicked, until I needed
Mm.
that song in my life. Then that's when it clicked for me, you
Yeah.
know? So I don't know, because I'm thinking whenever the national selection happened, yeah, that was around maybe when I came back from Estonia or so, like around that time. I don't know. I just was in a very calming mood for a while. And this
Mm.
song just would ring in my head all day. I would just be at work reminiscing about what I just like experienced and wishing I could go back. And like in my head, I was just, Villa Ramonda. I don't know. It's just like, it really gets in your head. Like that is, girl, definition of earworm. Because that thing just crawls right in there and won't get out. Like, girl, I don't know. This one, it does it for me.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Um, Anything can happen once it's on stage, but this, I think that this one might have a uphill battle.
You think so?
I
They
think
did
so.
just give it its the death slot.
Oh no,
They
really?
put it in second. And unfortunately, Serbia has gotten the death slot the last 3 years.
I was going to say, weren't they second last year?
I think they were third the last 2 years, and now they're
Okay.
second,
Ugh,
which are both
jeez.
not, they're both considered like death slot. But they came through in both of those. So I mean, but
Yeah, I
I'm just
felt
like,
like
what the fuck is the EBU's problem with Serbia?
was Serbia in that vote rigging thing with Romania and San Marino?
No.
No. No, because that was San Marino, Poland, Romania. Was there anyone else involved in that?
don't know, but I don't think Serbia was involved in that. There's no way. I refuse. They didn't do that for my girl Constracta. Um, yeah, I don't. I mean, girl, they gave Azerbaijan a good slot, so
That's crazy.
so fuck that. Yeah, no. Annoying. I mean, that's what's hard is this one's not like Luke Black or Constracta. This one, it doesn't stand out in the same way. But
Mhm.
it's between Cyprus and Lithuania. And honestly, that whole first half of the semi, Cyprus, Lithuania, Ireland, Ukraine, Poland, Croatia, like this one is so different from everybody else. So,
Yeah,
hmm,
we'll
hmm,
see.
yeah, we'll see. Well, and speaking of standing out, we have last up Greece with their song Zari by Marina Satti. Now bitches, look, if you're watching the podcast over on Patreon, hello, look at my shirt. So I just got this in today. It is the Marina Satti shirt. Unfortunately, Marina Satti is a little dumb because Miss Girl So this is your album art, is a t-shirt. It's literally, it's a t-shirt. I don't know if you've seen this, uh, Renata. The album art, it's not the picture that's on the shirt. It is a t-shirt mock-up is the album art. Why would she not be selling the shirt?
It is really dumb. I would absolutely pay the overseas shipping for that.
Yeah, like I would have bought this shirt from her to support her. Girl, why would you not be selling the shirt? You've clearly got the mock-up ready.
Oh my
Like,
God, that is
just
so
produce it.
iconic.
And how
Oh my
iconic would that
God.
be? Like, you know, all the fans are going to turn up in these shirts. You could have been making some shmoney.
Yeah. Oh, she did. She missed the trick there.
Yeah. You know, so um I don't know why she didn't do that, but I got the shirt because I am full on supporting. What I'm obsessed with it is, okay, so even with the song and the video and everything, specifically the video. So the video is like this parody tourism video for Greece. It's so iconic. And I love that she has a sense of humor with it. And like even with this shirt, this is a shirt. I don't know if they do this in other countries, but like the fucking, you know, like when you're when a family member dies and everybody shows up in shirts that they made for them that says like RIP, you know, CJ or whatever. Or they graduated, like, you know, that like
So no,
they're just
I live in Washington D.C. now. Or I don't live exactly in D.C., but I live in the D.C. area. And when you go down into D.C., if you're in the Capital District, you will always see groups of like school kids, and it'll straight up
mm,
say like Jefferson High School, Washington D.C. trip,
mhm.
seniors, and
Yeah,
like have the school mascot on it.
and it's literally like MS Paint, like, you know,
Yes.
somebody was like, oh, I have, you know, I don't fucking know what's the
Vistaprint or
but
whatever.
yeah, like I have a random thing. I just put some text in the photo, and it's like the worst font you could have ever picked. Like, girl, what is all of this? Like, and but it's such an iconic imagery in that sense. It fully harkens back to that. And it's like it is kind of like a weird cheesy shirt you'd pick up at a gift shop, even. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just random shit. So I love the sense of humor that comes with it, the
Especially
campness.
because the song's pretty polished, actually. The
Yeah.
song does not feel like a joke. In fact, it's a little bit anachronistic to even have this sort of like humorful, like
Yeah.
thing going on with the t-shirt. Like
Yeah.
Windows 95, man, it makes sense because the whole thing is goofball. But like this song is not a goofball song in any way.
Yeah. And that's what I love about it because there's so many layers to it, the music video and everything. This is to me right now like it's not my winner when I say this, but it's like it feels like a cut above the rest. This
Mm.
feels like, I mean, this is giving Rosalia. And
Yes, I thought
she's
that too.
actually going to be working with Rosalia's choreographer on her Eurovision performance.
Oh, wow.
So we've actually got a little bit of the Rosalia team on this. It already was making its rounds on like Stan Twitter because of, you know, well, it was actually the Rosalia fans were upset because, you know, but I mean, Marina Satti has done this style of music for forever. She's done it way before Rosalia. And guess what? I mean, what is this considered like reggaeton, like influences maybe? I don't really know.
I don't really
But
know.
but Rosalia didn't invent that style.
Yeah.
So,
Even
you know.
the fashion style was a little bit the same. Like whatever that plaid skirt thing that she had on in the video,
Mhm.
I thought
Yeah.
that looked kind of like Rosalia sort
Yeah,
of
I mean,
thing.
and that's like
Edgy.
a trend. That's a
Yeah.
trend. That's a designer trend. And I actually wanted to get a skirt from that designer, but those skirts are expensive. I
Yeah.
was about to make one for myself, but I planned on trying either getting one or, you know, making one myself if it had been in Scotland. So I could do a
Yeah.
little moment
You
last
know,
year.
I know a Scottish girl on 𝗫𝗫𝗫 Twitter, big 𝗫𝗫𝗫 fan. She actually
Oh,
made a kilt for him,
oh,
and she, I think, does customs. If you're
okay.
interested,
Well,
maybe I'll
if I
send
want to
you.
get a
Yeah,
knockoff.
get a knockoff. Yeah.
Maybe I'll get my Marina Satti little look.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm literally fucking obsessed with this song so much. It is genius. It is genius. It is so current. It's so now. It's
Yes.
so exactly what we needed from Greece. This is like, I mean, to me, this is like, this could be winner. This is giving winner to me, depending on how good this live performance is. This, I mean, this genuinely feels like next level for me.
I agree. It's what people have also been fucking begging Greece to send for like years now. Send like a powerful girl pop ethnic element song. Like go
Hmm.
for it. Like and finally they're doing it. And so I really hope that people stand behind this entry because they have been given what they've wanted for so long. And I am thrilled about this song. This was one where
Mm.
it was like there was no like wavering point where I'm like, oh, I don't really think I like that part very much, or this isn't quite clicking for me. Like, no, like it
Hmm.
was from the first few bars, it fucking clicked
Yeah. Yeah.
right away.
And
I'm over the moon about it. And this video, so funny, absolutely sealed the deal for me that I
mm,
have to go to Greece. I've
oh,
always wanted to go to Greece. Like it's always kind of been a place because I love history, and Greece has like
yeah.
amazing history and I know that I love the Greek food and Greek people are really fun and like friendly and open and like you'll
Mm,
have a good time if you go to Greece. And it was just like seeing everything and the campiness of it too. I was like, okay, I have to make this part of the next time I go to Europe. It has to have.
yeah.
I need to be able to get myself over to Greece. So maybe if it wins,
I was gonna say, if they
if
win, are you going to Eurovision next year?
they, yeah, oh fuck yeah, if
Yeah.
it's hosted in Greece,
I,
yes, I'm going to
yeah.
Greece.
I
I
mean,
might not
she
go to
showed in the
Eurovision,
video.
like I might not go to the shows, but I'll go to Greece for the
Yeah.
parties and stuff happening around Eurovision.
Mm, I agree. Like, I mean, I guess the video did its job in that sense.
Yeah,
Girl,
it's
girl, we
supposed to
all
be a
want to.
joke, a parody
Yeah.
tourism video, but actually it's like, well, now that you mention it,
Yeah.
uh
Actually, that does sound kind of nice.
yeah. Yeah, they nailed it in every way with this entry.
Now, what concerns me,
Hmm.
Greece's history with staging.
Yeah. What do you mean they had that amazing concept with the green screen and the guys dancing with the what some of them have the white jacket on, some of them have the white pants on. You didn't like that? Where they go up the stairs out of nowhere? That one? That amazing tech?
I don't know how the hell that made it into the top 10.
It was one of the dumbest fucking stages I've
It
ever seen in my life.
was so fucking stupid. It was insane. And I loved that song.
I loved it too.
What?
If that staging had been a fucking something in the Fire Saga movie, I would have said, I don't know, I think they're taking it a bit too far. It's a little too on the nose. Like, that is how ridiculous that staging was.
Yeah.
It was Fire
And
Saga levels
Margaret
of
did it better in
ridiculous.
Melfest.
Yeah.
But they did, I heard rumblings, I suppose, that the way that they're planning to stage it is to have one camera shot. Have it just be
I saw
one
that too.
continuous thing.
Was it credible at all?
My thing is, I will say, I don't know who the source was, but I will say, girl, Greece, their leaked info is almost always 100% accurate. Like, I don't know who out there is leaking shit from the Greek team, but it's almost always like every year their artist gets leaked like months in advance. It's always who it is. It's like, so I don't know. I don't
It,
know. I
it says
also
Greek people love to talk. That's why. Not saying that in a bad way. I like that.
no,
I
we love to
also love to
talk.
talk. We love to talk.
Yeah, which then there was like an example video from like a dance troupe that did a little performance. My thing is, yeah, that looked fucking stunning. But girl, Marina ain't doing all that. It was a dance company doing a dance to the song.
Right.
Like, yeah, that would look great if they do it that way. But um but that's not what we're getting. So
But
I'm
they
just
had some
scared.
cool choreo in the video.
Yeah.
So like even if
Yeah,
they use that same choreo,
that's
I
true.
don't know.
I I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm not my thing is I posted out on Twitter and people were like, "Oh, it doesn't matter like, some years they've had good staging whatever. It just depends on the team and she's got a good choreographer and everything." So, I mean, yes, but I'm just saying like it makes me nervous to try something so different, like y'all wouldn't be the people I would put the trust into to pull that
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just thinking Victor,
Oh, poor Victor in every
but
way.
yeah, yeah, and Stefania or Stefania. I always say Stefania because of, Kalush, but um and a lot of people were saying Die Together. Girl, I don't think that was great staging, but that's
No, it
just
was
me.
weird. I didn't get it.
Yeah. Everybody was like, hello, Die Together. I was like, no, my point still
They
stands.
used the lighting rig well. It died together. I'll give them
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. The only reason why that was good was because they were clearly a country that were planning to use the lights, and so they were not hindered by the messed up
Yeah.
sun. Um, so I'm nervous, but you know what? I have faith in Marina because we saw all the press leading up to this entry about how she rejected like fucking a million songs, and she was just rejecting, 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 rejecting. And she clearly, for good reason, finally landed
Yeah.
on the right one. I don't know if I don't know. I saw a lot of people saying that they thought she was just going to end up making her own song. This song has like 50 songwriters, so I
Oh,
don't think that was the
geez.
case. Yes, she is listed as a songwriter, but I mean, given how many songwriters are on it, she might have just changed a few words,
Yeah.
and is listed as a songwriter. So I don't know. But she clearly has an artistic vision. She knows what she's doing. Girl, give this girl all the creative control, and I think Greece could win.
I'd love to see that. I would love to see Greece get its moment again.
Yeah.
Truly. I feel like the Greek fans, because the Greek fans are so like diehard.
Yeah.
No matter what's happening with them doing well or not doing well, like they always stay like really true. They're so damn loyal, these
Yeah.
Greek people. They're so loyal and like they deserve it, like because they've been through the shit for a few years. And it
Yeah.
would be great. It would be one of those, like, yes, they have won before, but it's been a long time. And it would
It's been a long
feel
time.
like finally, they got their shot again.
Yeah. And I mean, they're one of the countries that's been in Eurovision for so long. And I
Mhm.
mean, I think I mean, they've only won once. So, I mean, it's about damn time.
Yeah, it's about damn time. I agree.
Yeah. And yeah, that is all the entries for this episode. Of course, there's just a handful of songs that still, still need our little review. And also there have been some revamps, which we're excited to talk about in the next episode.
Yes.
So of course, if you don't want to miss out on that, you don't want to miss out on any of the episodes going forward, because girl, we're in the Eurovision season now
Mm,
that pre-parties are starting. So
yeah.
make sure you are, of course, subscribing to the channel. Subscribe to me at 𝗫xy Rainbow, and of course, Renata.
At eSpot Pod.
And of course, also follow and subscribe to us, or I don't know, I guess subscribe. Yeah, subscribe to our Patreon,
Yes.
patreon.com/𝗫𝗄𝘅𝘆 podcast, so you don't miss out on any of the episodes, and you get to watch them full length, ad free, full video, and early on Thursdays. And if you made it to the end of the episode, is there
Is
like
there a t-shirt emoji?
there is. There is. Let's drop a t-shirt emoji. Let's drop a t-shirt emoji. I was gonna say
Yeah.
drop olives. I don't know if there's an
Olives.
olive emoji.
There might be. Yeah, I don't know if there is an olive emoji.
Oh,
There is an olive emoji,
there is.
actually.
Oh my God. Well,
There
drop one of the
is.
two.
Yeah, a
It-
t-shirt or an olive. They're both Greek themed
They're both
anyway.
Greek. We know that's your favorite anyways, y'all.
Yeah.
And yeah, guys. My name is 𝗫xy Rainbow,
And I'm Renata.
and we will see you all next week. Goodbye.